Is it possible in the current life to remove the effects of karma from previous lives?
Yes and no. One is, the general principle is, without giving the results, the karma will not go away. Na bhuktam kshiyate janma koti bhi. Without enjoying or suffering the results of karma, the karma will not go away. Swami Vivekananda said, good, good, bad, bad, none escape the law. Whosoever wears a form will wear the chain also. But, there are many points here. One is, Brahma Jnana will destroy all karma. Brahma Jnana, enlightenment, will destroy all karma. One person came to Sri Ramakrishna and said, I have committed many, many sins. It's a mountain of sin, and I'm beginning to realize now, and I'm very unhappy. And Sri Ramakrishna said, it's a mountain of cotton. It's a mountain of cotton. You put one matchstick to it, the whole thing will burn up. And in a trice, it will go. But that matchstick is self-realization, God realization, Brahma Jnana. Mundakopanishad, which says, the mantra which talks about Brahma Jnana, what happens, result of Brahma Jnana. It says, Shriyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. It says that Bhidyate hridaya granthi chidyante sarva samshaya Shriyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. What a beautiful mantra. Whole Vedanta and the result of Vedanta is there. When you realize paravare, the transcendent Brahman, wo Ram sabse nyara, aham satchidananda Brahman, aham brahmasmi, when you realize that, avara, same Brahman in all beings, Ram Ram, ghat ghat mein leta, Dasharath ka beta. You realize that this, in this samsara, in this world and beyond this world, the same Satchidananda Brahman and I am, that you realize. Then what will happen? Chidyante bhidyate hridaya granthi. The knot of the heart will be cut asunder. Now it's not a cardiac event. It means that which ties us to this body mind. I am this body mind. It will actually be cut aside. We will feel, I am not. It will be clear. Till that point, however much we may struggle with logic and meditation and prayer, still we behave as if we are the body. But at that moment, it will be gone forever. The delusion that I am the body will be gone forever. Vidyate hridaya granthi, chidyante sarva samshaya. All doubts will vanish. After that, it's impossible to doubt it. One blazing reality effortlessly will be present. No further, nobody can confuse such a person. Then next, kshiyante chasya karmani. All the karmas, past karmas, good and bad, all sins and good deeds and bad deeds, all will be destroyed in a trice. Mountain of cotton will be burnt in a trice. So that is one way. You might think, "Usse thoda niche, come down a little bit." Suppose that you are talking about final moksha. But before that, little bit. So what one can do is sadhana, by spiritual practice, japa, dhyana, puja, part, by spiritual practice, yajnas, offerings to the Lord, the bad effects of past karmas can be suppressed. And good effects of good karmas can be activated. This happens. We have a huge storehouse. I remember when we were studying, we used to have inventory management. Last in, first out, and things like that. So, how are my karmas coming? The whole stock is there. Something is coming out and giving result right now in this life. You can change that. You can give. So that is why people do these puja part and all that. It has an effect. So what we can do is, the bad effects leading to suffering and problems in this life because of past sins, those can be suppressed for the time being by good karma, by religious karma, by pious, like charity, by devotion, especially by offerings to the Lord. It creates a countervailing power which can suppress it. Ma Sharada was asked, can effect of bad karma, will it, japa, dhyana, devotion to God most powerful, will it help? Because it seems illogical. If my bad karma is that it will give result. She says, no, it will help, because this is a new karma you're setting into motion, and it's a very powerful karma. And she gave an example, where the leg would have been cut off, you will get a pinprick. You will get something. You'll get a pinprick, but you would have lost a leg at that point. So that in that way, karma can be dealt with at two levels. Brahmajnana, Swami Vivekananda says, good, good, bad, bad, none escape the law. Whosoever wears a form will bear the chain. Next he says, but far beyond name and form is Atma never free. Know thou art that sannyasi bold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. So Brahmajnana will solve the problem forever. Below that, less than that, thoda niche, is devotion, puja. Many people don't like rituals, but I also am not particularly fond of rituals. But these traditional rituals are there, they have a big effect, there's no doubt about it. I've seen. It can, at least for this lifetime, you can save yourself for some time. Yes, you can save.
So it is easy to be a drishta, an observer, when we feel happy, sad, proud, etc. How do we deal with physical illness, pain, etc. in children, in our children or in old age? So
more difficult is children, of course, person who's beloved. One may put up with one's sufferings. But if somebody you love very much, and samsara, it is natural, because you have children, you're very vulnerable. Definition of a child is, unless a person is very narcissistic, definition of a child is that you care for the child much more than you care for yourself. That's why it makes you sacrifice so much. But if the child is suffering, then you suffer. And sometimes parents suffer more than the child, psychologically. Children will get ill. So from childhood, cold and cough and all the fever, this is common to all children. But parents suffer more. This is something you may not know. I will share this with you. When we become sannyasis, we do shraddha. Because after becoming sannyas, you cannot do shraddha for parents or... So at the time of sannyas, just before taking sannyas, we do shraddha even if the parents are living. So that you don't have to, you cannot do it afterwards. Now I remember the mantras, which was so touching. There's a whole section of mantras specially for the mother. And one of the mantras is so touching. When my body was racked with fever, you who suffered more than me. So when the child is suffering with fever, little child, who suffers more than the child? Mother suffers more than the child. Now, you cannot help it. Even if you don't want to suffer, you cannot help it. And it's very natural. How to maintain one's calm and how to rise above it? Only answer is through spiritual life. Only through spiritual life. You have to be centered in God there. Because there, human beings, parents, even if you want the best for your child, you are human beings. Your power is very limited. Very limited power. What can you do? You have to depend on a greater power, on the supreme power. Kabir Das ji, he said, Dukh mein sumire sab koi, sukh mein sumire na koi, jo sukh mein sumire usko dukh kahe ko hoye. Well known, people repeat it, that in sorrow we all remember God, but in happiness nobody remembers God. Those who remember God in happiness, why will that person have sorrow? Now, let's go a little deep into this. Why I'm telling you, once one lady approached a sadhu in India, in Vrindavan, and said, my problem is just the opposite. When things are going well, I can be spiritual. I can study Vedanta, I can meditate, I remember when Sukhume, when things are happy, okay, then I'm interested in spirituality. But when things get tough, I get anxious and fearful and shaky, and I can't be spiritual. So for me, it is the opposite. I don't go to God in dukkha. I go to God in sukha. Then what? So he answered such a perceptive answer. I will share this with you. The sadhu said, no. See how they see the mind immediately. When you say you go to God in sukha, in happiness, when things are comfortable and nice, you are able to go to God. You're enjoying the presence of God then. You are not enjoying the presence of God. You are enjoying the comfortable circumstances. Sukha, things are nice. People are nice to me. I'm wealthy. I'm liked. I'm prosperous and healthy. Things are going well for me. I am enjoying that. And of course, part-time spirituality is going on. That is why when the circumstances change, People are nasty to me, my health is not good, life looks dark, I am depressed, then the happy circumstances have gone away, my happiness has gone away, and I don't have the practice of relying on God. So in that circumstances, I cannot go to God. I don't go to God. I suffer from the absence of those, the sukha, the happiness which was there earlier. So right now you think you are connecting with God. You are not. You are connected with the nice circumstances of your life. Now, what should I do? Focus on getting your happiness, your security, your peace, your joy from that one, from God. Like that Mataji from Gopala. Everything for her is that one Gopala. In happiness, in sadness, whatever. Happiness, sadness does not matter to her. Physically well, physically fever, does not matter to her. Everybody is Gopala. Good person, bad person, does not matter to her. Everything is Gopala. If you do that, what will happen is, when the happy circumstances go away and tough circumstances come, that God is still present for you, and your happiness and security is coming from that God. In fact, now that the happy circumstances have gone, sukha has gone, more so you will rush to catch hold of God, because there's nothing else left to catch hold of. Now, one more point he said. Usko dukh kahe ko hoye? If you remember during happy circumstances, why will you suffer? Why will that one suffer? Now, that does not mean dukkha will not come. Dukkha will come. Sukha and dukkha will come. Why? Storehouse, inventory. It's coming. Sukha and dukkha will keep coming. Only that person will not care, because that person, his or her joy and joy is connected only to internally, to God only. Continuously connected. Connection is not broken. So externally, if happiness comes, he will say, good, but my joy is from the Lord. Externally, happiness is gone, suffering has come, and he will catch hold of God more tightly. More tightly he will catch hold of God, because now there is nothing else left. And then external dukkha will be there, internally dukkha kahe ko hoye. That much.
So it's like Buddha's two arrows.
Yes, two arrows. So Buddha was asked that we have a question. What is the question? You said that life is sorrow, and there is a solution for sorrow, and that solution is spirituality. Four noble truths of Buddha. Dukkham, first sorrow. Second, cause of dukkha is desire. Third, freedom from dukkha is nirvana. Fourth, ashtanga marga, the noble path, eightfold path. Now Buddha said, what is the question? Well, you said dukkha means old age, disease, death. We are following your instructions. Among us, we are all growing old. We all get disease. Some of us have died, some will die very soon. You are enlightened, you are the Buddha. You are also getting old. You are also getting disease, and one day, sadly, you will die also. Then how did you escape from dukkha? Dukkha is old age, disease, death. How will you escape? You have not escaped. You said, by spirituality one can go beyond dukkha. But how? You are also suffering. When the Buddha said suffering is of the nature of two arrows. First arrow, when it hits you, you suffer. Suppose second arrow hits you, how much the suffering will be? First arrow is what the world throws at you. Old age will come. Disease will come. One day death will come, and many other problems will come. All that is first arrow. Second arrow is how we react to it. And the real suffering is caused by the second arrow. We know in the middle of suffering, two people react differently. One person is calm, other person is hysterical. So the difference, who is suffering more? The one who is not calm is suffering more. The one who is calm is not suffering so much. Suffering is mostly in the mind. Even physical suffering has to come to the mind, then only. That's why anesthesia works. You put the mind to sleep. Therefore, body, the same disease is there, but you will not feel the pain. So, mind, how can the mind be proofed, suffering proof? That is spirituality. External suffering will come. That is the nature of the world. Samsara will go on like this.